Alright guys, in this video I want to go over a concept which I believe is truly the key to success with SEO, yet most people overlook this because I see it all the time on websites online. So the key to SEO success, regardless of anything else you know, whether you know technical SEO and all this other stuff, you know what H1 headlines to put and all this stuff, there's one key thing that's going to make all the difference, and that is strategy. Now, this may sound obvious, except for the fact that most people actually don't do this right, and so this is why I want to go over it. Now, what I mean by strategy is, what are you actually optimizing for, and how do you intend to get that traffic and then convert that traffic into actual paying customers for your business? So the thing, what most people do, and I see this a lot, and it's actually mostly common when they hire cheaper SEO services, like let's say a Fiverr SEO or something like that, but you do see this with some of the bigger companies as well making the same mistake. I see it all the time. And basically what happens is they go and they have, so let's say you got the website and you've got like 3 pages on the website, right? What they'll do is they'll go and optimize everything they possibly can out of these websites. Let's say it's just a law firm for this case. Let's say this is family law. Let's say this is estate, so like estate lawyer. And then let's say the last one is property. So you got these 3 areas of law. Let's say you've got these 3 main pages. Now this could be anything. This could be like, let's say plumbing, drainage, and water heater installations or something like that. Whatever for plumbing, could be concreting, whatever, right? Concrete like driveways, whatever. You get the point, the main page. So what they'll do is they'll go and absolutely optimize this page. So let's say the family law page to rank for like family lawyer, right? And that's not a bad thing. That's exactly what you want to do. So this page is now super relevant for the keyword family lawyer. However, there's a couple of things that they overlook with this strategy. And so what happens is around the topic of family lawyer, you've probably got 5 to 10 different sub niches within just family law. So for example, divorce, child custody, you can have alimony, and there's a bunch more as well, right? And they keep going down the list. And unfortunately, what happens is most people will take all of these and they'll just throw them onto this page and just like list off, we do these areas of law. They might have a sentence or even just a bullet list just saying divorce, whatever, whatever. And then they put that on this page. And now the problem with this is that you will rank for the keyword family lawyer depending on how competitive it is, obviously, because there's more to that with topical authority and things like that. But let's just say hypothetically, if you got this page to rank, you can rank for family lawyer, but you will not rank for, let's say, divorce lawyer. And you certainly won't rank for like child custody and alimony and things like that. And the reason why is because this is just simply not relevant to those keywords. And all of the competitors have pages about divorce, child custody, alimony, etc., and other additional content supporting these pages, making them more relevant for that topic, and you just don't stand a chance. And so this is where the strategy comes in. So like you hire someone to, let's say, SEO optimize your website. Do they know how to apply all of this strategy behind this to actually know what pages need to be even made and optimized, and how to optimize them in relation to each other so that you can rank for this entire topic? That's the part that most people don't get right. Because on top of this, let's say just make these pages, okay? So you've made all of the pages for the different areas. So you got family law, and then under that, let's say here, you got divorce, you got child custody, and you've got alimony, right? But now you still don't really have topical authority established for that. So as a whole website in general, Google's not going to see you that relevant because you've only still got 4 pages. Now, yes, this is opening the door to rank for these particular areas, but you're still going to be competing with other websites who have a whole bunch of, now let's say, additional supporting articles for every single one of these topics, like talking about different aspects of alimony, etc., pushing that up as well. And so what happens is, if you don't have this, let's say you even ranked number 1 for the main keywords for every single one of these pages, okay? Let's say we have a graph and you've got like a traffic graph, right? What will happen is you will go up and you will rank number 1, and then you'll just flatline and you can't go any further because you're now maxing out everything you have. Now, in reality, that doesn't quite work out like that. It's usually, like, it's rare that you'll just be number 1 for everything, or eventually someone will take over, like get past you and you got to keep going. So you don't really hit like quite a flat line, but you will definitely taper off. And so what do you do from here? Do you just sit here and you're just now satisfied with this, or do you want to keep going? And the only way to keep going is to start making these pages. And what you do is you start expanding out from the central high intent. Let's say you got the high intent pages, which are these, or the commercial pages. So let's say /C for commercial. These are the commercial pages. And eventually you will hit the borders of this circle where you can only get so much commercial traffic to your site. And from there, if you want to keep growing, the only way is to start expanding. And so now what you need to do is expand into the relevant topical areas for whatever you want to expand in, into the informational content. And so what that means is there's a bunch of keywords that people search, and it doesn't even have to be specific keywords. It can be like topics or ideas that they're looking at. They're not necessarily want a lawyer right now, or let's say a plumber or whatever, but they are interested in the topic and they might convert later. So for example, you see a lot of like child custody questions. If you run ads or you look up the keywords for child custody, there's a lot of questions around it, like how likely is it that the father will get the custody of his children? What's the likelihood of getting a 50-50 split? Like all of these different questions relating to it. Or for example, for divorce, how much does a divorce cost? How long does a divorce take? Etc., etc. You're never going to rank for those keywords. And those people may not necessarily turn into potential clients or customers for your business straight away. But what will happen is they're in the information gathering stage. And eventually they're looking into information. So they're obviously interested in this topic in some level. And eventually, when the time is right, they will eventually jump into the high converting section. Like in this circle, they will become a high converting searcher who's eventually searching for like divorce lawyer, right? And what you want to do is you want to catch them at the early stage here and start developing trust by giving them information. And that's one of the strategies behind this, at least on the content side, whereby they find your informational content and they'll probably save it or share it. And then so what happens is eventually when they are now at this final commercial stage and they need to buy the thing, they will come back to you a lot of the time because they either saved it or they remembered it, or because you developed some trust by giving them the information and actually educating them a little bit, and then they'll come to you. And so not only are now you getting more traffic that first of all you can funnel the more high intent ones to your commercial pages by linking, etc., or even having a CTA down the bottom of the blog or something like that, but you will also capture a lot of the ones who will come back later or share it with someone else who may not have even seen your site, and then they'll come back and buy from you. And so that is how you start expanding. And that's the strategy you're not going to get when you hire an SEO who doesn't know this section of it. So the problem is most, like I mentioned at the beginning, are only technical SEO. Like they understand how to optimize the page on the site, but they don't take into account how to actually expand what you've got and take all of the traffic that you can in that particular niche or topic. And this is the only way you're going to grow. And quite frankly, the problem you have also here is that you're competing with people who are doing this, namely like me and my clients, right? And other SEOs who know what they're doing, are doing this and basically eating up everything. And so now you are trying to compete with, even if they made these 3 or 4 pages, you've got 4 piddly pages competing against this entire like encyclopedia of a website covering all these different topics. It's going to be very hard for you to compete even on a topical authority standpoint, because Google considers these sites more relevant to yours, and this is probably going to rank higher. And so that's how it works. So this is something that you need to be aware of. And this is one of the things that you actually pay for when you hire an actual professional at SEO versus just hiring somebody who's just trying to like churn through clients or like just produce or just do SEO like as quickly as possible or as cheaply as possible. They're not going to understand this, and over a long term you will lose, because you will hit a plateau if you even rank at all. Meanwhile, the one with the proper strategy behind it is just going to keep going, and you're now playing catch up trying to get up to that, and it's going to be hard. So I wanted to cover this because I see this still missed a lot of the time, and people don't really, even the ones who are doing like a content strategy, don't really understand why or what they're really doing. They just know pump out blogs, but they don't really understand like what the point is. And basically it's you are trying to rank for as many keywords as possible within that specific topic, and then it all like relate it back to the commercial intent. So they all need to be relevant, and you need to obviously go for the right keywords. And I talk about this in other videos as well, where ranking for random keywords that have nothing to do with anything to do with your business is pretty much pointless. But you need to develop a strategy like this if you actually want long-term success with SEO that's going to keep growing. So that's basically it for this video. The strategy is super important behind what you're actually optimizing. If you don't know what you're optimizing, then obviously you've got a problem if you don't have a strategy like this behind it and you're just focusing on like 3 or 4 pages on the site and trying to make that rank. It's just not going to work. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions about any of this, put them in the comments below and I will answer them. Otherwise, if you'd like me to get you results with SEO and or Google Ads, ads depending on your needs, go to dominatemarketing.io, book a call with me there, and we will discuss and see what's the best lead generation strategy for your particular business. And if you'd like me to coach you on how to do this sort of thing with Google Ads and SEO for only $49 a month, go to learndominatemarketing.com. I've got a coaching program there. You can jump on 2 calls a week with me where we can go over this and I can coach you on how to develop this sort of thing. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Catch you on the next one.